means very much to us and our staff. The Honorable Edmund Bartlett, Ed, you've been incredibly supportive from the first day that we spoke with you, and you've got an absolutely great team. I'd like to say a special thanks to Donovan White, Stephen Edwards, Cheryl Lewis, and Janelle Bowie. Honorable Audrey Shaw. Audrey, thank you. Thank you for your emails, your support. Honorable Daryl Vaz. Daryl, you were the one who helped us get this going when we first started speaking with Ambassador Tapia. Thank you. We have Nolan Wilson, Member of Parliament. His Worship, the Mayor of Savlamar, Bertel Moore. Ambassador Grant, Sandra Grant Griffin. And with regrets, Ian Deere, chairman of TPDCO, was here last night. He scoped everything out. He said that you were all in good hands, and we spent a few hours here last night with Ian. Two people that didn't make it today is Ambassador Audrey Marks. She sent me a WhatsApp from Washington, D.C., dressed in a winter coat, that she had a Jamaican protocol face cover on. And my good friend, U.S. Ambassador Don Tapia. And Don and I live in Arizona together, and we've been good friends, and he and I will celebrate next week having dinner together in Phoenix. So if I've missed anybody, I'm very sorry. But I would like to also introduce our team. The good-looking guy there in the green jacket, that's the original Rick. Daughter's recent passport renewal, she counted the Jamaican stamps, and when she was 21 years old, she had already been to Jamaica 30 times. I remember that we used to come, and this was a dirt road. This was actually Dr. Campbell's house, and he turned it into a bar in 1974. And it was a dirt road, and we would walk from town, and every day that I would come here, I would see a crowd. And I always said, wow, that place has a great vibe. And it was like the most Jamaican bar that existed. It was the first bar on the West End. And we were very fortunate in 1999. I was coming here on a holiday, and I read in a magazine that Rick's was for sale. So I came here and I said, do you want to sell Rick's? And Tom and his partners said yes, they did. And we have continued in operation since April of 1974. I'm sorry, us owning it April of 1999. We lost Rick's in 2004 to Hurricane Ivan. Literally, we came following the hurricane, and it was completely flattened. We rebuilt a new structure, and it's bigger and better than ever. And unfortunately, this past year, we lost Rick's to COVID, 107 days without operation. But we're back open, and we're rebuilding our business, and we're building it as strong as ever. Yes. We were recently designated the best beach bar in the world. Now, I don't know how many beach bars in the world there are, but there's a lot of them. So to be the best of anything, we're very, very honored. There's a saying in Jamaica, at least we made this saying up, but it's a good saying. And it says, if you've not been to Rick's Cafe, you've not been to Jamaica. This past year, pre-COVID, we served 340,000 people. We are hoping that with the Red Stripe experience, that first year we'll serve 500,000 people. People from all over the world know about Rick's. We're in every magazine. We're the most, I'd say, well-known. I don't want to upset anyone in tourism, but destination in Jamaica for tourists. They come here, they love it, and we basically treat Rick's, we treat our guests with great respect. We've had many of the same staff since I bought the company in 1999. So 3 years ago, we formed this marketing partnership with Red Stripe. And the idea was to promote the brand. And I was invited to go to Montreal with the Heineken family. And after spending a few days in Montreal with the Heineken family, we started talking about the Heineken experience in Amsterdam. And the Heineken experience is the busiest tourist attraction in Amsterdam. And I said, why don't we build a Red Stripe experience attached to Rick's Cafe? We already have 340,000 people coming, and it would just be a great opportunity. So Ricardo, if you're watching, which I hope you are, the past managing director, I compliment you, and we are friends for life. Okay. We have a great design team led by Andrew Anderson. I don't know where Andrew is. And we've got a fabulous architect, Simone Clark, and a wonderful team that we've put together. We're going to design something incredibly special, which you'll see on the video. It's going to celebrate the Red Stripe brand. It's going to celebrate how it symbolizes the spirit of Jamaica and the Jamaican people. And really, if you think about it, there's no other brand in the world that truly reflects a country and its people more than Red Stripe. So Louis, you have a great team, and I thank you for the support that you've given this organization. Paul, you're a great pillar in this project. If it wasn't for you, we would not be where we are today. Paul has spent hundreds of hours with his team working on this project. And of course, a big up to Taisha Williams and Diane Ashton Smith, who helped put today together, and Amanda Danza for her active role. But I want to thank again everyone for being here, and I hope to see every one of you for our grand opening within 1 year. Thank you.
That will change the landscape of this beautiful town of Negril. Negril will not just be world famous for its wonderful 7 Mile beach, but also known as the home of the Red Stripe experience. It will be a unique attraction that will allow us to connect with our consumers and tap into the tourism market in an even bigger way. Tourism has contributed as much as 30% to Jamaica's GDP and represents a significant portion of our business. This 50-50 joint venture partnership with Rick's Cafe is therefore a key pillar in our strategy. It makes sense for our business, it makes sense for our consumers, and it makes sense for our community. It will support the growth of our footprint in this region. It will expand our consumer base both here and abroad. Rick's Cafe has made a name for itself over the last 40 years. It is the first public bar and restaurant of its kind on the Western Cliffs, offering an alternative to Negril's 7 Mile Beach. More than 340,000 visitors come here every year, and we intend to grow that number with this project, as Steve just mentioned. The objective is to create a new experience built on the power of 3 amazing brands: Jamaica, Rick's Cafe, and Red Stripe. Our great Jamaican beer is a big part of Jamaica. It is an iconic symbol of this island, the people, and their culture. Our goal is to showcase that culture and celebrate the people of this great country that has been producing this great beer since 1918. As a company, we are pleased to be part of this moment in history. Red Stripe has been contributing to the development of this amazing island for more than 100 years, and it is an honor that we get an opportunity to have a chapter to this amazing story. Leaving a lasting legacy is part of our company's DNA. From our founders Eugene Desnos and Thomas Giddens to the Heineken Company, which acquired Red Stripe in 2015. Our mission is to wow the world with our brands and to brew a better Jamaica. This experience will help us to deliver on those ambitions and will, for years to come, bring joy to many visitors and Jamaicans. I want to thank the project team for the work they have put in so far. Guys, the plans look amazing. It's true, we still have a lot of work to do, but we believe we have the right team and the passion to bring it to life. Thank you all for joining us today as we look forward to sharing this with you and with the world. Thank you very much.
You will permit me to greet and welcome very specially into this side of the tourism country our Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Andrew Holness. My friend Louise Pratt, or Prata indeed, who has followed a very interesting list. I get another story written up. Distinguished partners all, what a wonderful moment it is as we saw the journey a while ago through the eyes of the digital experience where Red Stripe is likely to take us in this wonderful partnership that they have forged. But picture it, taking it free and easy. That's the only way to go. Life is just for living. All right. That's the Red Stripe experience. And I think that what a wonderful experience it will be in the end when we have the breathtaking island sunset at the western cliffs of Miguel's Rick's Cafe. And it's an excitement that has served us for the last 2 years, 2.5 years in fact, ever since we started the conversation with Ricardo and the team. And then when we looked at what we could do with 3 iconic brands, Brand Jamaica, Red Stripe Bear, and Rick's Cafe. And we thought that that symbiotic relationship was too precious to ignore, and that we should move with a haste to bring it together and to make it a true reality. And so out of that came the partnership that is putting together now an investment at an important time in our own experience. And I want to just comment, Prime Minister, if you'll allow me, for 1 minute on this very important development. Because we're going to custom, Prime Minister, to speak about the negative impact of COVID on tourism, on industries, and generally on the economy. And the psyche of the world seemed to have been so enwrapped in this reality that we are not looking beyond COVID enough. We're not even looking with COVID. We are seeing negatives. We are seeing narratives that are putting us into almost a state of depression. But there's need for a new narrative. And an investment of this nature at a time like this helps to create a new conversation. And that's a new conversation that we in tourism are intent on providing. Because this is the first of a series of investments that we are going to be unfolding. The next one is a few minutes away from here in Green Island for 2,000 rooms, $535 million of investment, and the work is to begin shortly there. It's looking at how do we pivot, how do we become adaptive, how do we build resilience in the presence of adversity, to come out of adversity thriving, not just surviving, but thriving. And I believe that this is a feature of what is making Jamaica a destination that is appealing to the world today, that despite what is happening, investment is still happening. people are still interested in participating in Jamaica's development, and that's important. And I want to give credit to our Prime Minister, who has led the way and is today one of the leading prime ministers in terms of building out that level of confidence in the way in which we have managed this COVID experience, and I'm so proud to be part of his team. I want to make the point that for us to be the destination that remains top of mind, we have to be the destination of innovation. And it is what we do to add value to our experiences that inspires others to build confidence in us, to want to share in what we have to offer. And that's the asset that Jamaica has. We have a mind that is fixed on futures, not a mind that is locked into the past. And so we recognize those things that may have become what we call disruptions. But we build capacity to manage disruptions, to overcome disruptions, and to thrive after disruptions. And so today I make the point that teams all over are committed to that. And this experience with Red Stripe and Rick's Cafe, to put in nearly $2 million of investment to create an iconic attraction that is going to do something for you that I cannot even tell you yet, but you will hear shortly. Because this experience, planned to be completed in October, will fit neatly into a new arrangement which we are working through to ensure that there will be attractions and more attractions that will be able to bring more exciting visitors to our destination. The Prime Minister is a keynote speaker, and my job is really to thank you again for this partnership with tourism. We're excited about the prospects of building out this iconic attraction, and we look forward to work with you as we brand Jamaica, brand Red Stripe, and Rick's Cafe on Beat of the Theme. Thank you, and God bless you.
So, I am optimistic that Jamaica will recover and build forward stronger. So I'm encouraging all our Jamaican entrepreneurs, all our Jamaican entrepreneurs to look at this as opportunity and invest. The global leisure market was valued at $1 trillion in 2019 and is projected, or was projected, to reach 1.7 trillion by 2027, which is a compound annual growth rate of 22.6%. Recent years have seen a paradigm shift in consumer spending towards experiences rather than goods. This is a lecture I was given by Minister Bartlett, that tourism is now about the experience. Spending on consumer durables and apparel has been faltering, while experiential spending on recreation, travel, and eating has seen rapid growth. This trend is in sync with growing numbers of outbound tourists. We believe that the pandemic represents only a temporary pause in this trend. In fact, some commentators suggest that the rebound in travel and tourism post-pandemic will be much greater than is generally predicted as a result of huge pent-up demand. Just to put that in simple language, we have a singer called Coffee, and she said, "Where will we go when the lockdown is ended?" And I'm certain that that is the sentiment right across the world. When the lockdowns are ended, people are going to want to just travel like crazy, and we want to be ready for them when they return to travel. Now,
Successful businesses know that in order to stay ahead, they must focus on the quality of the customer experience. Winning brands such as Red Stripe, Rick's Cafe, and of course, brand Jamaica itself are focused on being known for creating consistent, extraordinary experiences. We are focused on getting it right every time. We look forward to the opening of the Red Stripe experience to further enrich the grill's tourism landscape. This is just the type of innovative investment we need to drive the expansion and diversification of our tourism experience to make it even more unique. This will complement the several other investments Minister Bartlett has been hinting at, some he has spoken about, and some you will see materialize in the months to come. So, we congratulate Red Stripe and Rick's Cafe on the launch of what is sure to become the most visited attraction on the island, and we thank them for their continued support and commitment to Jamaica. God bless and all the best.
Now, as we develop a robust cannabis industry, we have to bear in mind that we cannot import solutions. Our solutions have to be local. A person that is coming here to invest in our industry, they are not investing for our benefit, they are investing for their benefit. So I implore the government to actually take the necessary steps to facilitate the development of some of us as small men to become big men, because we stay here. We stay here, we don't leave, we stay here and we invest here and our money stays here, so bank can create loans for these things. Now the industry is also crippled by the lack of capital, and we would want to implore even the private sector as well as the government. Yes, banks cannot touch us right now. However, the government can provide grants, and they have the means to do so. Other foreign governments are supporting their industry. They are protecting them with rules and regulations, and as such, we need to do the same.
Rolling. Yeah, I just last year I say, throughout history, it is the inaction of those who should have and could have acted, the indifference of those who should have known better, and the silence of the voice of justice when it matters most that has enabled evil to triumph. So anyhow we see wrongs that take place and keep silent, eventually it will go right round until it compound. That's why anywhere injustice, oppression, tyranny, brutality there, we have to make the voice be heard, and if possible, definitely physically, or in whatever Malcolm X would have tell us, whatever means necessary, to fight against what is wrong, you know? So, just want you hold that as a memory piece, you know? For example, rural areas, right? You have how many thousands of youth coming out of school, high school, every year. Where are the jobs? Where are the opportunities for these youth? Right? So rather than turning to the gun, rather than becoming criminal, the youth them will go and plant her to make her money. Now there's a market out there, right? Why not give these grassroots people, these grassroots youth, some form of legal status that they can grow their herb legally and market their herb legally inside of Jamaica, which means, you know, poor people would have feel more confident, them could have produced more, and because the market is there. You'd have a traditional, and this is what I said to CLA when we had the first board meeting in 2015 June, that the traditional market is not being taken into consideration. When the amendment was made in 2015, the traditional market where people come from town, Orchard, Mobile, come and country and buy herb and take back, that has been totally ignored, and that is something that the government of this land needs to recognize and put whatever means or measures need to be put in place. Empower the CLA if that is the entity that is going to be responsible for that, but make sure that these people have some form of legal status in cultivating their herb because it's a way of life.
We'll get some cuts out at the herb. We are growing up. We don't want to take everything one time.
Which means that, you know, poor people would have feel more confident and could have produced more because the market is there. You would have a traditional, and this is what I said to CLA when we had the first board meeting in 2015 June, that the traditional market is not being taken into consideration. When the amendment was made in 2015, the traditional market where people come from town, Orchard, Mobile, come and country and buy herb and take back, that has been totally ignored, and that is something that the government of this land needs to recognize and put whatever means or measures need to be put in place. Empower the CLA if that is the entity that is going to be responsible for that, but make sure that these people have some form of legal status in cultivating their herb because it's a way of life.